1. When an owner chooses to use a prime contractor, who will the owner contract with? A general contractor. 2. How is annualized labor for a contract calculated for use in allocating fixed overhead? Total labor divided by months to complete x 12. 3. The parties involved in a contract may agree to a liquidated number of dollars per day to be recoverable for the delays that extend the date of the substantial or final completion. 4. According to AIAA 201, when applying for a construction permit, who is responsible for determining that the documents are in compliance with all building codes, statutes, and ordinances? Architect. 5. Which of the following is not exempt from state licensure? Cellular tower contractor. 6. Which of the following would not be considered part of the contract documents? Instructions to bidders. 7. When a special inspection is required by the architect, who is responsible for acquiring the inspection? Contractor. 8. Shoring on a threshold building shall be inspected by only by an independent Florida licensed engineer. 9. Which of the following must be licensed by the state of Florida? A plumber who only does repairs. 10. A set of drawings for a new addition is in need of plumbing. Under which circumstance may the plumber not execute the drawings? A plumbing system with 260 fixture units. 11. A standard AIA document has been signed by all parties to a construction contract. Completion was called for within 105 calendar days from the commencement date. The contractor notified the owner that September 11th would be the commencement date. The contract calls for the construction to be complete by December 24th. 12. Which of the following is false? Construction contracts entered into by an unlicensed person are legally enforced through the civil courts. 13. A release of lien upon final payment from the subcontractor effectively releases all lien rights through the date on the release. 14. A special permit could be issued for a temporary shed used to store materials on site. 15. In the application and certification for payment, AIA, the change orders should be added with every pay application. 16. Assembly uses intended for food and or drink consumption including banquet halls, casinos, and nightclubs are classified as Assembly Group A2. 17. In a guaranteed maximum price (GMP) contract, any savings usually benefits the owner and contractor. 18. An excavation contractor is asked to move 5 piles of fill from one job site to another. It's not possible to determine the size of the piles due to surrounding structures. What type of contract best protects the excavator and owner? Unit price contract. 19. When the architect wishes to move the completion date up by 1 month, the architect should send a change order to be approved by both the owner and the contractor. 20. In the case where a subcontractor refuses to furnish a release of lien required by the owner, what may the contractor furnish satisfactory to the owner to indemnify the owner against such liens? bond. 21. When does the architect have the authority to require special inspections and/or tests of the work? Whenever the architect considers it necessary. 22. What must the owner do to ensure proper payment is being made under the Florida lien law? Obtain a release of lien from the liener in exchange for payments. 24. What is the most common name given to the written description of the work and responsibilities of the contractor? Contract specifications. 25. A subcontractor fails to correct a contract deficiency after being properly notified in writing. What penalty may the contractor impose on the subcontractor? Termination of the subcontractor's contract. 26. A store owner engages a general contractor to do certain work. Which one of the following operations could the contractor perform without obtaining a permit? Install a window air conditioning unit. 27. According to AIA, what term is used to describe when all costs involved in a change, requested by the architect, are calculated and submitted in one firm amount? Lump sum. 28. Which of the following is not one of the three elements of a contract? Description. 29. To finalize the contractor's affidavit of release of liens, who administers sworn oath? Notary public. 30. What scheduling system is the standard tool for controlling a subcontractor's activities? Critical path method. 31. Unless otherwise provided in the construction documents, who shall have the primary responsibility for scheduling the required inspections and notifying the inspecting authorities? The permit holder. 32. According to AIA 201, which of the following is not true concerning a construction change directive? After receiving a construction change directive, the contractor has 7 days until the start of work required by the construction change directive. 33. How many square feet are in a 45-tall building containing 3 stories with 100 x 100 footprint? 30,000. 3 stories x 100 x 100 equals 30 sq feet. 34. When the agreement for work is written using a standard AIA contract, unless otherwise required in the bid documents, the form of payment shall be stipulated sum. 35. A building contractor must subcontract which of the following activities? Structural swimming pool construction. 36. A building permit for a single-family residential dwelling must be issued within working days of application, unless unusual circumstances exist. 30. 37. The AIA general and supplemental contract conditions include expenses which are chargeable to the job as a whole. 38. According to the priority contained in the construction lien law, for liens claimed under a direct contract, the last lien to be paid shall be liens of the contractor. 39. Which scheduling method best describes the interrelationship of individual construction activities in the planning stage of a project? Network diagrams. 40. An exception from construction contractor licensing requirements of Part 1 of Chapter 489 applies to persons who install and maintain water conditioning units. 41. a plot survey cost should be entered into a bid under the category of project indirect cost. 42. According to Florida construction lien law, a subcontractor who contracts directly with the contractor is in privy with the contractor. 43. A contractor has a signed AIA contract, including general conditions, with an owner for renovations to an existing building. The contractor discovers a sewer line in a wall where a new door opening is to be made. How many days does the contractor have to notify the architect in writing of the change? 14 days. 44. A project schedule detailing CPM logic is most beneficial to A/N subcontractors in scheduling material deliveries. 45. A delay in the completion date specified in the original construction contract caused by defective plans and specifications supplied by the architect, as far as the legal rights of the contractor is concerned, is excusable with compensation. 46. A contractor has requested a roof inspection on the building being constructed. Which of the following components is not included as part of this inspection? Roof framing. 47. Which of the following conditions in a building makes a sprinkler system a requirement? 3 stories or more. 48. Training of employees on hazardous and related safety and health matters is an investment in the welfare, productivity, and longevity of the company, and is required of the employer under provisions of OSHA. 49. According to principles and practices of commercial construction, the allowable bearing strength of soft clay is 800 psf. 50. According to Florida Contractors Manual, OSHA does not require a contractor to report all accidents and injuries. 51. Concrete lintels should be reinforced with not less than 2 number 4 steel bars. 52. What is the standard hand signal that a foreman would use to indicate a crane operator to stop? With arm extended horizontally to the side, palm down, arm is swung back and forth. 53. A contractor notified the owner and the architect of concealed physical conditions at the site. The architect determined that no change in the terms of the contract is justified. The architect notified the contractor and the owner, in writing, stating the reasons. According to AIA 201, claims, by either party, in opposition to such determination, must be made within 21 days after the date the architect gives notice that no adjustment is warranted. 54. A fire resistance rated wall assembly of materials designed to resist the spread of fire in which continuity is maintained is known as a fire barrier. 55. According to Florida Building Code, spiral stairways risers must be sufficient to provide a minimum headroom of 6'6". 56. A dispute has been submitted to binding arbitration. It is subsequently discovered that the arbitrators failed to follow the law. Which of the following statements is correct? The arbitration will not be reversed. 57. According to the Florida Building Code, when a roof truss is inspected. Framing inspection. 58. A no damage for delay clause is enforceable in Florida, and the party who bears the risk of delays is the contractor. 59. All of the following are areas to consider when acceleration of a contractor's finish date is required except The cost of materials on site. 60. Each of the following jobs do not require plans examination and approval by the building official except for which one? Enlarge existing home. 61. A contractor is under a standard ALA agreement on a particular job. Due to a shortage of materials, the job is delayed for 6 continuous weeks. When must notices be sent to the architect in order to place a claim for extra time? Once only. 62. Which condition applies to the issuance of a special foundation permit? Holder is proceeding at his/her own risk without assurance that the remainder of the work will be permitted. 63. What type of offense is a person guilty of who violates the requirements of the Florida Building Code and/or Florida licensing laws for a first offense? Misdemeanor. 64. What is the primary function of a construction manager when hired by the owner? Manage and coordinate the work of individual trades. 65. A contract cannot be enforced if its purpose is illegal. 66. When is the contractor entitled to receive payment for material? After materials have been stored on the job site. 67. A sidewalk will be 130 x 8 x 9.5 thick. How much 3,500 psi concrete will be needed? Between 30.0 psi and 31.5 psi. 68. Payment in advance to a subcontractor along with receiving a written release of lien rights in advance of doing the work is not a valid release of lien. 69. A contractor will rent a backhoe for $160 per day to perform 35 hours of work. The rental company charges 1 hour travel time each way for delivery and pickup. The backhoe will be used only 8 hours per day. The contractor estimates the labor cost for the operations of the backhoe at $25.10 per hour, which includes all benefits, taxes, and insurance. What is the job cost for labor? Between $848 and $908. 70. If work has commenced and the permit is revoked, becomes null and void, or expires due to lack of progress, what must you do? A new permit covering the project construction shall be obtained before restarting the work. 71. Which of the following is a fixed expense? Public utility fees. 72. Under AIAA 201, assuming none of the changes conflict with the contract, which one of the following may be issued by the architect alone? An order for a minor change in the work only. 73. The second time a contractor falsely claims to be a contractor when he does not have a license, he has committed a third-degree felony. 74. The underscore are graphic depictions of the work that is to be permitted. Plans and drawings. 75. According to Contractor's Manual, a signature on a claim of lien is typically attested to by an authorized notary and recorded. 76. Inventory is consumed over a relatively short time period, approximately 1 year. On this basis, inventory is underscore of a company. A current asset. 77. To ask a design professional for additional information, what should the contractor do? Write ARF. 78. The provisions of the Florida Building Code shall apply to structures for electric utilities office operations. 79. According to AIAA 201, allowances given in the contract documents shall include trade discounts. 80. During the bid process, which one of the following documents has priority in the event of conflicts with a construction contract? Specifications. 81. Uncompromising, open-blown insulation cannot be used in an attic roof space if the ceiling slope is more than 3 in 12. 82. Accounting control of inventory can be carried out by first in, first out method. 83. All of the following would be considerations in preparing a material estimate except probable weather conditions. 84. Which system is suitable for identifying individual work activities, showing the relationships between them and scheduling? CPM. 85. What is the maximum total contract cost allowed for an improvement before a contractor must file a notice of commencement? $2,500.